Hello, the game has started and it's me to go first. I have the ing ending and the un beginning. I am wondering about unowing. And I'm just not sure about that. Unowing could well be good, but I don't want to start off with a phony. Now I can play wongy for 26, but I'm keeping the U. So is there a way of playing off the U as well? Well, I think I will go with this. Not good, but I am now grateful for the U since it's my only vowel. I have bunny on my rack, which would leave RT. And that plays above the I of wongy. I'm looking in column 5 to see if I have a double-double through the O of wongy. And I can't see one. Just looking at my rack for alternatives to a bunny, and I'm not seeing anything. Bunny could also play in column 6 through the N. That would get the B and the Y tripled. I can't see anything through the W. So at the moment I think my preference is for bunny in column 6. And that still plays. My opponent's provided some floaters but no vowels. I do have a hotspot available in row H, but I'm unable to take advantage of that. Now, there is another spot for bunny, and it's a better one, because mothy is good, I think. £33 points. I draw another U, but I have a second vowel to go with it. I suspect there are 8-letter bingos with this set. My opponent challenges, he loses 5 points. Now, do I have a bingo? I don't think I have a 7. My opponent's taken out the double-double, but I do have the H for hooking onto the end of clot. But that's only likely to be useful if I have a bingo and I don't have a 7 with this. Quite a few floaters to consider, but they're not particularly useful ones. I can't see any bingo with this rack. So what I want to do is play off the U and one of the R's. And possibly the H for score, and my H can go next to the C of clot. So I could play Ruth down here. For 30 points. I hope I haven't missed a bingo with this rack. Well, if I have, Ruth is still a pretty good non-bingo play. Well, this is definitely not a bingo rack. I do have the X for score. Again, I have duplicate R. Nowhere great on the board at the moment for an X. And not many vowels available to play through. Unfix is good, but that's not going to get doubled in row D. And it leaves the duplicate R. So through an E, I would have fixer or refix. No E's have been played so far. Only 3 points for my opponent. That's good. Now I don't have to play the X straight away. because I'm not close to a bingo. And if it stays on my rack, that gives me scoring potential for next go. So I could focus on playing off the F, which is a non-bingo-y tile, and one of the R's. My I could go in front of CH, but I can't score well using that. This is a tricky rack, and my opponent's play a run, although it's good in the sense that it scored only 3 points for him, has not provided anything good for me. I'd like to play through the U of Ruth, but I can't see a way of playing off F and R through that. So, what can I do here? Certainly this rack is too good to change. I'm just going back to the X in case I have got an opportunity to score with it. Now, what I could do is play Riff here, which seems pretty dismal. Only 12 points. It's not giving much away, but it's leaving 4 consonants, and I'd much rather leave just the 3. Surely I can do better than that. It may almost be better to change than to play that. "14 minutes on my clock, so I can't spend too long on this move." Run doesn't take anything before or after it that I've got apart from an S. Even unfix without getting doubled has now been blocked. Fern is good, F-I-R-N. But there's just nowhere to play it. Now, what about playing furs and burning the S? It does leave me with 3 consonants rather than 4, which is good. I'm keeping the X for score. I'm not providing a great deal for my opponent. I'm getting 22 points, which is 10 more than I was getting with Riff. So I think I will go with this. Right, here are some of the E's. I've got the V, which isn't great, but it does give me Vexer. Nice bingo by my opponent, which Riff would have blocked. Well, it would have blocked it in that spot, but it could still have played. So I've got Vex across here for 43 points. That's good. The rack leave is okay. Slightly vulnerable to E's since so few have been played. No bingos available with this rack. I'm just looking around for anywhere for Vexer. Well, I suppose the alternative play might be Vixen, beginning where my X is. 38 points. Well, this scores more with a better rack leave. Through a G, I would have Greenier. Do I have anything? Well, I was looking at the T of Sorbents. That's been blocked because I have nothing to go in front of the G. My opponent's scoring well, 42 points. He is now 30 points behind. 12 minutes on my clock, 45 tiles in the bag. I have no scoring tiles. There are very few floaters on this board. Now what I can do is play E-Rev down here, which sorts the rack out. 21 points is okay. Slightly dangerous in that I'm providing a good hotspot in column 2 for a 5-letter play with a high scoring tile next to the E. That could score 50 points. And it would block the R and U as floaters. But I think I will take that chance. I have scenarii. Nowhere for that at the moment, which is annoying. Great, that wasn't disastrous. EMI not good, otherwise scenarii would play in column 3. Do I have anything through the R of Ruth? It would be very high probability if I do, but I can't see a play. I have an A for going in front of G. So, do I have a play through the T? Does my rack make a bingo with a T? It does. It makes Rainiest and Inertias, neither of which plays. Any other floaters down here? The N is a floater. Can't see anything through that. Klotz takes nothing after it. T and R together are available. So I would have a play beginning ante. No, can't see anything there. Now, I have no scoring tiles. And I'm only 20 odd points in front. I have a very bingo-y rack. But there aren't many bingo lanes available. So what to do here? Just playing off an I would leave a pretty powerful combination. I can do that here, open up a bingo lane in row K. My opponent will struggle to block that without creating new bingo lanes. I don't like only scoring 4 points, but this rack leave is pretty good. I'm just wondering if this would be improved by playing off one more vowel. NA does take an S after it. And this makes it... Well, what if I did draw a vowel? An A wouldn't be good, nor would an E. Scenarii wouldn't play. I think I will play the extra vowel. Right, I have dineros, endorse. And I note that, blocked dineros in column 3, but I still have it in row K. And endorse is going to score more. And Rosind even more. £73 points. Now, have I missed a better bingo lane? No, I don't think so. Well, not good. Nowhere near a bingo, but I'm 80 points ahead, and it's a balanced rack between vowels and consonants, and I have got scoring tiles. This is quite a tight board. Row L is available for bingos, but in terms of non-bingo plays, not a lot on offer. Not many hotspots. And just not many places to play. I've got Favour on my rack and Ivy, and I'm struggling to see where they can play. Now, I do have a T for going in front of Ruth. So I could play that. But it would be nice to play off 2 of my high-scoring plays. Ah, well, that is good. I can play Flay, which leaves quite a nice rack. Leave 8 minutes on my clock. Just wondering if I have anything better than Flay. Quite often the first move you see isn't the best. But I think this is pretty good. 42 points is a good score. I draw the Z. Not a great rack. But I can play... Great, my opponent challenges and loses 5 points. I can play Zit and Truth. That doesn't give anything away. And scores over 20 points. I've got a 110-point lead. Keel, that doesn't look good to me. Nope. Now, where can my Z score the most? I've seen Zit in row B. I can't see anything using the Z running through the L. Great, my opponent's resigned. Well, only great in the sense that it would be if I wasn't making a video, and by that I simply mean great, I've won. But it looks like I was probably going to win anyway. Disappointing in that there's 20 tiles left, and it would be nice to play through the game to a conclusion. So, let's see what I missed. This was my opening rack. Great, I didn't play Unowing, which would have been a phony. Ungown was available, which would have gotten rid of the U. I went for Wongi and kept it. Not much between those plays. This was my opponent's rack. He played Moth. Now I had Bunny and Mothy. That looks fine. Horrible rack for my opponent. He plays Clots, and this was a rack I thought about for a while, but Ruth was fine. My opponent's rack, not great. He plays Run, and this was really troublesome. And look down here at the rack leaves. This is why I was struggling. None of these rack leaves are good enough until you come down to Furs at J2, which was my play. Nice rack for my opponent. He has Bretons and Sorbent. This was my rack. I played Vex. That looks fine. My opponent has the blank. He plays Jogs. And this was my rack. What did I do here? Oh, I played E-Rev for 21, leaving EINR, a much better rack leave than NR, so I still like my play. My opponent's rack, he plays Eam. Now I have Scenarii, but nowhere to play it, and there was no playable bingo. Now, Cheer, F5. Okay, so I played off AI down here for not very much. I could have got a bigger score in row F, but I wouldn't have been opening a bingo lane, so I still like my play. My opponent plays equal, and then I did have a bingo, and Rosind scored most. This was my opponent's rack. He played Loon. I had Flay, that looks best. And my opponent phonied here. And then this was my rack. And I think this was the point at which my opponent resigned. Let's see what was available. C9 for Zit. Where's that? Oh, wow, look. Equal takes an I, so Zit would have played down here. I did know Equale, but would I have spotted it in game time? I don't know. And quite a few other possibilities. I didn't really have time to fully explore this move and find alternative Z plays, so I don't know how many of these I would have found, but certainly there were a few Z plays scoring in the 20s and 30s. So my opponent did resign, 20 tiles left, disappointing, but it was a winning game. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed watching that. See you next time.